It is Y105, Dubuque's #1 hit music station. My name is Steve Pulaski. All year long, this man has been celebrating 18 years of his Las Vegas headlining residency at the Luxor Hotel and Casino. That makes him the longest-running comedy headliner in all of Vegas, deservedly so. You know his props, you know his style of humor, you know his trademark hair. He is the one and only Carrot Top. How are we today, Carrot Top?
I'm all right, man. Yeah, it's actually coming up on 19 years this Thanksgiving, so it's nuts. Yeah.
Congratulations to that. We're going to dive into some more details about your residency in Vegas, Carrot Top. But first things first, let the people know how hard you work. How many shows do you do a week?
We did 6 nights a week, but only one show a night, which isn't bad. And as you know, it's a fun job. So every night's different, the crowd's different, and people always say that. My God, 6 shows a week. What do you do? I get one day off. Take Sunday night off, and I only have the one day off because my manager has a car payment. But yeah, it's a fun job. You know, we appreciate being able to do it. Almost 19 years here in Luxor, and hopefully we still got 6 more years left, so we continue this run.
Do you tour elsewhere around the country beside the Luxor?
We do. We've been to Dubuque. We've been all over the place. We've been in the last few years with the Luxor contract, it's kind of hard to get out as much as we used to. But yeah, we take the show on the road when we can and visit other cities. And like I said, we've been to Dubuque many times. Great place.
I love it. Can you enjoy the nightlife in Vegas on that kind of a schedule, though, Carrot Top? Do you, or is it just like blasé at this point?
No, the night I get done with the show and we do a little post-meeting about the show and what went right or what went wrong and drink and then head home. You know, I'm watching SportsCenter and in bed by 11, so it's not bad, yeah.
What's the best part about living in Vegas?
Well, the best part is having to get to do a show where you live. That's just, unheard of. And when I first started doing comedy, you're on the road in hotels and planes and trains and automobiles. So this is, it's a blessing, I can leave my house and go down to the Strip and do a show and come back to my house. It's great. And you get to see people from all over the world. Every night in the crowd, we had people last night from London. We had people from, everywhere, all over the world, from Texas to, it's great.
Where can people go to find tickets for your show at the Luxor?
They can go to the Luxor website, or they can go to carrottop.com, and probably even Ticketmaster, I guess, probably. But yeah, carrottop.com has the information and the where you could get about.
Everybody knows your style of prop comedy. How has your show changed and evolved over the years? Walk me through a Carrot Top show at the Luxor.
It's kind of a roller coaster run now because, it started out, it was definitely prop driven a lot. A lot of prop driven. That's, with the TV stuff that I would do, that's what they wanted. And as I've gotten more into it and doing it every night and doing as long as I've been doing it, it's been a lot of fun now to kind of do a little storytelling and kind of let the audience in on my kind of retrospective of my career. And they get to learn about, my father working at NASA and my brother working at the Air Force Academy. And so it's kind of a storytell in a sense. You start out and then at the end of the night, they kind of get to know me a little bit more and find out, how the heck I got into comedy and how long I made it this far. So it's a mixture of, stand-up, there's props, there's stories, there's video walls, there's always new props. Every day, every week, there's a new prop in the show. I just made a golf club for Donald Trump that has like rear view mirrors all over it, so you can keep an eye on the situation. But that one kills. So it's all just silly and fun and observational kind of stuff,
Some might not know you did a kids show, kids morning block on Cartoon Network in the late 90s called Carrot Top's Ahem Mayhem. I wish I could find episodes because from what little I've seen, it looks like it was a blast. What was your experience doing a show for kids like that? It was really, honestly, was a blast. They asked me to do it, and I thought, my God, Carrot Top and kids? I don't know what the hell this is going to work out. But, I was a road guy, and Vegas guy, and they asked me to do this show, and it was a lot of fun because it was a whole different mindset that you had to entertain kids, And I played a lot of different characters, so I was playing like an old lady, me, my older brother, my dad. I kind of dressed up in different costumes, and it was a whole different era, man. I kind of looking back at that, it seems like forever and ever ago, but it was fun. Yeah, being on Cartoon Network was a blast. What little I've seen of it, it reminds me a lot of the Weird Al show. Would you say it's kind of like that in a way?
Yeah, a little bit like Weird Al. Yeah, I was kind of I would kind of do my little characters, and I would set up things, and build things and, show them things. And then I would go into a clip of a cartoon and then come back, and I would be, back in my little house that I lived in there, and I was be, experimenting with different things. So it was a cute show, and it was kind of, for way kids to kind of learn, like all kids shows, they want to teach you like the proper things. So we'd come away, a way to, how to greet people and how to be kind, and it was fun. It was fun for sure.
How do you reflect on Chairman of the Board, the comedy in which you were the lead?
Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, they play it all the time on HBO. It's still around. It had an amazing cast. I mean, my God, everybody in the world was in it. Raquel Welch and Jack Warden, and my God. And that was my first time ever being in a movie, so it was kind of interesting. They put all that pressure on me to be the lead in a movie that I've never done before. I mean, I literally had never been on a film ever. And so it was exciting and also nerve-wracking, but at the end we got into a groove, and it was actually turned out to be a pretty good movie.
Do you still sign a lot of DVDs and VHSs of that movie?
Oh, I do. I know. I love the VHSs. Yeah, I do. I think that's great. That's how long ago it was.
That was the only feature-length movie in which you were the lead. When you did that, were you just kind of going project to project, figuring things out, what you wanted to do, or did you want to become like a comedy movie star, headline a bunch of movies like Adam Sandler, Pauly Shore at the time?
Yeah, I wanted to do more, and I got to do more in some other. And so I wasn't the lead, but I had done a few more. And yes, even to this day, it's still fun to do some more films. So you never know what comes down the road. But yeah, filming movies is very exciting and fun, and there's so many people involved that make the process happen. It's great. Do
you still build all your own props?
Absolutely. Yeah, I just made that Trump one yesterday. I went and got a golf club and some mirrors and glued it on, and yeah.
Do you have like a hell of a tab at Hobby Lobby or something like that? Like
I do. Yes, I do. I walk in and they laugh. They go, "What's the next prop going to be?" They already act kind of, So I kind of get a chance to try it out on the people there. Right before I walk out, they're like, "What's it going to be?" And I'm like, "Can you guess?" So it's a fun process,
He is Carrot Top. Just a couple more questions with you. Is there a reason we haven't seen a Carrot Top like comedy special on streaming or network TV? I remember you had the Carrot Top Rocks Las Vegas DVD, which I really enjoyed. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Oh, absolutely. We're in the talks of doing one now, whether it's on Netflix or HBO or something. It's going to be like a special, maybe or / documentary that we're working on. So it's a lot of exciting stuff coming soon, and it might be just in the time for our 40th anniversary that's next year. So it's kind of a cool deal, 40 years in comedy, and kind of a retrospective kind of thing with a documentary, some maybe some comics that I know talk about me and how working with me was like, and yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Titles of things nowadays are always so gritty. Like the reboot of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is just called Bel Air, and then you have like Weird, the Al Yankovic story. Would a title for your potential documentary be like Carrot Top, the Man Under the Hair, or something?
Yeah, I like that, the Man Under the Hair. Yeah, that is the hardest part, isn't it? I mean, you can spend years working on a movie or a documentary, and they'll shit, what's the title going to be? That's the hard part. So, yeah, we're definitely gonna. It'll be a fun title for sure. I like the guy under the hair.
One of your many credits was a cameo in Toby Keith's Red Solo Cup music video. Toby obviously just passed recently. What was he like in person? What do you remember about shooting that?
An absolute sweetheart, man. That guy was the most giving, friendly, kind, generous guy ever. Yeah, we'd become friends and for years. And then one night he literally called me up one morning and he said, "Hey, man, I'm doing this video. It's the dumbest video I've ever done in my life, but you want to be in it?" I was like, "Well, that's a good way to ask someone to do something. It's the worst song I've ever done, but it's going to be great." So I said, "Sure." So he just like sang it to me like a cappella over the phone. And I said, I kept trying to cut him off. I said, "No, dude, you don't have to sing it. I'll do it no matter what it is. Let me just finish it." And so he kept singing it, and he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think it's great. I think I'd be honored to be in it." So we shot some video with him, and I've been in a few videos of his, probably 3 or 4 videos, and that one in particular was, of course, made it really big. And yeah, I was kind of, Toby was a dear friend, so it's a rough patch there when we lost him.
Was there ever a celebrity that you were just like really starstruck to meet? Anybody that really kind of almost make you at a loss for words? Maybe your idol or something like that? Can you think of any?
Yeah, sure. Jack Nicholson, I think. It wasn't like a met-up meeting. I was in Aspen, and I was walking across a little town, at the street light, and I look up and I see this guy walking towards me, and it looks just like Jack Nicholson. I'm like, that can't be Jack Nicholson. And he says, Topper. And I said, Jack. And he's like, man, you are one funny guy. And he just kept talking to me, and it was so surreal because you're talking, to Jack Nicholson, and just like, you don't. There's too many things you want to ask him. So instead of asking, I just shut up and let him just praise me for a bit. And then he just basically talked about just life in general. He says, "You're funny, and I've been out to Vegas and I've seen your show." And I'm like, "Why didn't you come say hi to me?" He's like, "I don't do that. I just do my thing." But it was kind of cool, I was starstruck, and I was so starstruck I didn't want to even ask for a picture. Just out of that guy. That was cool.
What do you think has been the secret to your success? If you could sum it all up very succinctly, what do you think has been the secret for you?
Probably my good looks. I mean, my goodness, right? It's hard to be a hot comedian. I think it's just the way that I keep the show fresh and new and kind of reinvent me, not only me but the show. It's always progressing and changing and to the times and to the day. I mean, the day some topical thing hits the news, I'm on it. I already have a joke, and so I think people recognize that. They're like, wow, this is he's talking about today. The current events, keeping it real, keeping it fresh and new, and I think that's really honestly because I get a lot of return visitors, and that's why you have to also as well keep it new and change everything because the crowds are pretty savvy. They can catch on to stuff pretty quick, and so they come to the show and they come back to the show and they come back to the show and they're like, man, this is the same show we saw last time. That's the worst thing you want. So you want them to always say, man, your show is always new and it's always fresh and it's always something great. So that's the key to me. I try to add one new joke a day. Sometimes it's two, sometimes it's more, but at least one will make it in each night. So it always changes even for one night.
Going on 19 years of his Las Vegas headlining residency at the Luxor Hotel and Casino, he is Mr. Carrot Top. Carrot Top, you are wonderful. I want to give you the final word.
Thanks.
Promote your tour, your website. Where can people find you? Social media, whatever you want to leave off on, man. Floor is yours.
Right on. Well, I appreciate you doing this, Steve, and I appreciate Dubuque, and I appreciate all the fans. If you have to find me, I have an Instagram, Carrot Top Live, and I have the real Carrot Top and carrottop.com, and then I think that you can find me on all the social media outlets. I think I've got a Twitter, and I've got they have the little, what do they call those little blue checks? So make sure you get the right one because there are there are a few Carrot Tops out there that aren't me. So you can tell by checking with the blue check. So
make sure he's verified.
Yeah, verified is the word. Thank you. I've been verified, so please get the right one because we have some sites out there that people ask me for money. That's not me. It's horrible. So if you go to my site, you'll know because I would never ask people for money. So
there's some rotten carrots in the farm, is what you're saying, huh?
There's some rotten carrots out there. Yes, indeed.
He is Carrot Top. I greatly appreciate your time, man. I'm going to be looking for that documentary / stand-up project. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It should be really, really fun.